in the corner.
Okay. Guys, we're recording. All right, we're reviewing for chemistry test 17.
Hey, Gio.
Hi, Gio.
Hey,
Gio,
Gio.
Walton.
Oh, I forgot about Walton.
Yeah. Okay. So, first thing you need to know, which I am fairly confident all of you know at this point, but if the oxidation state of an element changes, if it's negative on one side of the reaction and then positive on the other side of the reaction, has it lost or gained electrons?
Wait, if it's negative then positive?
If it was negative and now it's positive.
So it lost electrons.
It lost electrons. Very good. All right, you need to be able to identify an oxidation reaction. So how do we determine if there is an oxidation reaction?
If they lost electrons.
Good. Yeah. So we remember our Leo.
Something about
The
Leo.
Leo the lion says Gur. So lost electrons is oxidation. Gaining electrons is reduction. Okay. All right, and then another question, same thing. Gaining electrons is called
reduction.
Good. Then they have a couple of oxidation number changes that you have to identify whether it's oxidation or reduction. So again, a lot of the same. You need to make sure that you know that. I would even I noticed some of you wrote out on the top of your quiz last time, Leo the lion says Gur, and then you wrote out what the letters represented. I would recommend that you do that. That's definitely going to be helpful.
Do we include the
Your thumbs are like this.
I mean, you don't have to write out the whole thing if you don't want to, but
You can.
Leo says Gur. I guess you could shorten it to that.
Wait, how does that help us with Leo?
You haven't listened
Leo,
this whole time.
loss of electrons is oxidation. Gur, gain electrons, reduction.
Oh.
Does everybody follow that? I can write it on the board for you if you don't understand here. Leo says Gur. What?
Hope.
Does
Does
that
help you?
She said says.
I am just wanting to correct people. Disgusting.
How's the food?
It's good cucumber.
There were some people on Cooksaki Athens Facebook page getting pretty aggressive about the grammar Nazis yesterday. That was entertaining.
Yeah, Hope, you're one of them.
Yeah, Jack can do that.
Well, he still does it.
And grammar police.
Well,
Hate when people do that when
He
you're
corrects you on
texting.
the grammar?
When we used to
Hate when people do
be
that
active
when
in
you're
the
texting
chat.
and say something
Oh,
wrong.
yeah. It's like fill in the blanks. You'd be like, you'll say something, but you put the wrong letter. Like, what? Figure it out. Like,
Yeah.
obviously.
maybe don't put 8 instead of 10.
Andrew did that to me sometimes on purpose. It got really annoying.
Exactly.
You can kind of see that.
You like, huh?
Yeah. If they look
Other than that, I don't.
Well, yeah, if somebody's insulting you and then improper grammar,
That
definitely.
just makes them even madder. I think it's like
What's annoying is when you get mad at somebody, you try to argue with them, and they just don't care.
Yeah.
Just ignore you.
There's like, okay.
does that.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes you have to
No,
do
who
that to
cares?
protect your own sanity.
That's
I'm just not even gonna get
You block
involved
them,
with
that's
this.
their bad, you block them.
Yeah,
They learn the lesson.
that works too.
That's what I do.
Do you
Or you can be like,
I have
you
done
don't.
that.
meeting and talking.
I don't even text you on
Okay,
Snapchat.
so guys, all right. So you have two different elements. It gives you two different elements, and you have to determine if oxidation or reduction would take place, or both. So again, a resounding theme on this. We need to know the difference between oxidation and reduction. We have to be able to identify that. And then you have to know the oxidizing agent. So which one is oxidized and which one is the oxidizer or the oxidizing agent. You need to know the definition of electrolysis, which is probably, I think that's one of your vocab words anyway, so you should all have that on your vocab sheet.
And we'll get the oxidation chart for our test, right? We need it, right?
Yes, you will have the oxidation chart.
But they did balance equations on this one.
Oh gosh. There's like,
It's not that
I know, but there's like 5.
I don't think
The oxidation number is easy, but
You do have 4 questions that you need to balance equations for.
Making bonus.
That's always
do
the
they have the
answer.
little charges on them?
Or do we have to put?
No, none of them have the extra
Wait, are they
charges.
like
Okay.
Are they
So
the,
these should be fine, easy for you guys.
Yeah.
are they the questions like we've had on other tests that like it's just like that problem and then it wants like a ton of work done, or is it like just asking the question and then it asks for the answer in a line under?
It just, you don't have to show your work. It just has the reaction and then a line underneath for you to write the
Yeah,
balance
that's not as
equation. Yeah. It does have, okay, so it's a little tricky here. And I can just give you guys this now in case, because you might not know this. Although, it's pretty easy to figure out. So you need to be able to write the compound carbon monoxide, which would be what?
CO2? No.
Carbon monoxide.
Hold on.
CO.
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 Yes. And then diiodine pentoxide.
Diiodine.
So it's 2 iodine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I2O5.
Yes. Very good.
What was the last part?
what is the compound name?
Diiodine pentoxide.
And that would be I2O5. So you guys can write that down on your vocab sheets if you need to.
Oh,
But
wait, you
it
can
should
write
be
that on
fairly easy to figure out.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to just write the chemical equation for that. All right, you need to, there's one essay question. I'll just give it to you guys. Please be thorough with your answers. If I get like a 4-word sentence as the answer to an essay question, my inclination right off the bat is to not give you full credit. So let's not do that. All right, most of these questions at least require 1 complete sentence. So try to be thorough with that. And it should be in complete sentences. It says that right in the instructions. So the question is, explain why galvanized steel does not rust.
Galvanized.
We talked about this yesterday.
Oh,
if
that's like
anybody remembers.
that's for roofs and stuff, right?
Oh.
Galvanized.
Oh, what?
Well, yeah, anywhere
The
where it's
zinc.
going to be exposed to.
The zinc helps it not to
The
rust.
coating.
Helps steel not to rust.
Yes, it's electroplated with zinc, which keeps, so the corrosion ends up on the zinc, but the zinc doesn't flake off. Like when steel rusts, it would flake off and you would actually lose some of the product. Whereas when zinc corrodes, it stays in its structure. So it's going to protect the steel from corroding.
When we try to take the 17B quiz?
We already took it.
No, we-
together.
no, we
Oh, wait,
didn't.
We
no.
never took some.
No, we didn't.
Tomorrow.
Oh, so tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Yes, do it tomorrow.
What about today?
Because we haven't reviewed it.
Review?
You want to
Yeah,
do it
we'll
today?
go over that actually right now. Before we-
Explain why galvanized steel doesn't rust.
Answer must be filled.
Answer must be.
Okay.
Just put zinc.
So basically for 17B, it's all the different types of batteries, and you need to, it's matching. So they give you a description, and you need to say which type of battery it's referring to. I'll give you the types of here, and you guys can tell me, actually. Alright, so the first one is an electrolytic cell.
Non-spontaneous.
Non-spontaneous. And so what does it use to force the reaction?
What do you mean? Electrical energy.
Electrical energy. Very good. Alright, so, and that's, electrolytic cell. Kind of tells you what it is. So it's using, so basically, for any of these, you have a chemical reaction has to occur for it to produce energy. But in some of them, it's going to be spontaneous. In other ones, they're going to use outside factors to force the reaction. So for this one, electrolytic, they're using electrical energy to force the reaction. All right. Then we have a zinc carbon dry cell.
Zinc carbon dry cell.
Spontaneous.
You use it in
No.
flashlights.
Most.
Cool. Wait, where are you?
It doesn't say that.
It's the most. It's
Low cost batteries.
the zinc cylinder acts as an.
So the description, we're looking for what is used as the cathode in this type of cell.
NO2.
What?
Graphite rod.
Graphite rod.
A graphite rod is used as the cathode. Okay. All right, the next one is an alkaline battery.
What is it looking for?
Yeah. What's it?
Well, okay, it's the most common type of battery, which we know,
Yeah.
right? That's generally what most of us use on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And what does it contain? It contains a specific compound.
Alkaline
Zinc.
substance, potassium hydroxide.
Potassium hydroxide is what it's looking for here. Okay. So that would be the electrolyte, the potassium hydroxide. Okay. All right. Then we have a lead acid storage battery.
What is it?
Like carbon?
The cathode.
So what substance is the cathode and anode immersed in?
Sulfuric acid.
Sulfuric acid. Very good.
Yeah.
And can you reuse them or recharge them?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
It's like a car battery.
All right.
Oh.
Yeah, it's automotive and industrial use.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you shake a car battery, you're sloshing oil.
Yeah. Which is also why if your battery gets damaged in an accident, they have to put special substances on it to clean up the spill because sulfuric acid is the most toxic acid
ever.
Yeah. All right, but it's, it says lead acid right in the name,
Oh,
so
true.
hopefully, acid.
Yeah.
Figure that out.
Yeah.
All right, and then the last one is a fuel cell.
So
Doesn't it get energy
What are
from
they looking
outside
for?
sources?
It gets energy from an outside source. And what specifically do they expose it to from outside?
Oxygen.
Oxygen.
Yeah.
Very good. All right, so that's everything you need to know for the quiz.
See.
you're ready? Is that what you're...
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so let's see where we left off.
Yeah, we just did the outside.
Yes. Alright, we said electrolysis. Okay, you need to know the process of electroplating of silver and where the silver atoms are reduced. So if you look back at there's two that they give you in your book. One of them goes towards the anode, one of them goes towards the cathode. So which one is silver plating?
The anode. The silver plating is performed with the silver anode.
Where are the silver atoms reduced?
Page 448. Where are they reduced?
So reduced means it's gaining
The
electrons.
silver ions migrate to the cathode and are reduced to metallic silver as electrons are attracted to the anode.
Good. Yeah, so it would be the cathode. The silver atoms are reduced at the cathode. Oh, okay. Well, kind of in the same ballpark as your essay question. One of the multiple choice questions, you need to know that zinc will not accelerate the redox process when rust forms on iron. So what are some substances that would accelerate rust forming?
Air.
Oxygen, O2. What's
Water.
that? Water, H2O.
Sunlight? Maybe?
No.
There's one other that they have here.
Ion.
Chlorine ions.
But in the pool.
Which means, we know that
It's
sodium chloride on the road rusts out your wheel wells in your car if you don't clean them off regularly.
That's why I make my
You
plastic
guys all
now.
know that, right?
I do.
That's why I make my plastic.
That's
now.
why you want to make sure that you clean around and inside your tires regularly during the wintertime.
Oh.
I mean, if you don't like driving around a rust bucket.
But
You wanna
honestly,
keep
that's
your
what
wheels-
New cars don't have to. That's all made out of plastic.
Really?
Who else? Yeah, they're made out of plastic.
Yeah, but what about the
The rim?
what about the rim?
Not the rim, but the wheel wells.
Well, you don't want your rims to rust either, so you still want
Mm.
to keep them clean. I mean, I wouldn't want mine rusted,
The rims don't
especially if
really
I
rust,
paid for
they
like
really-
nice ones. But
It depends.
I've seen them get pretty rusty.
And I was talking about those donut rims. Those rust.
Oh, yeah.
Donut rims?
Yeah. Donut
Why are they called donut rims?
Because they're shaped like a donut.
rims.
Why?
Why are they
Like a donut, your spare tire, they call that a donut on that rim.
Right. Yeah.
so shaped like a donut?
Those rust bad.
Yeah.
But
'Cause
they
some
got-
cars just have those kind of rims on them and they just have hubcaps over them. And they just rust inside.
Yeah. All right.
Shut up.
Hey, that's not a school word.
That is not a school word. That's
Detention.
right.
3 days.
All right. You two mind your business.
Detention.
All right. Cation. What is a cation?
Cation is a positively charged ion.
Very good. A positively charged ion. All right. You need to know that. And keep in mind, right, if an atom is by itself, so you have a pure element and it has no charge listed on the top, what is its
Zero.
charge?
Zero.
Good. All right. Most commonly used batteries in electronic devices today are
Alkaline.
alkaline. Good. Alright, I'll just go through the true or false with you guys. You can just say it out. Oh, we're almost out of time. Alright, a battery is a collection of electrolytic cells.
False.
False. Very good. The main battery in an automobile acts as both a voltaic cell and an electrolytic cell.
True.
True.
Yeah, that's true.
A fuel cell is a special class of battery whose source of active ingredients is contained within the battery itself.
False.
False.
External source.
External source. Very good. Okay, no, we have like 3 minutes. Oxidation reactions always involve oxygen. False. Very good. Oxidation and reduction are simultaneous reactions.
True.
True. Good. In redox reactions, the reducing agent gains electrons.
True.
True. No.
Oh.
False.
The reducing
Because
agent.
it would be oxidation one
Yeah,
that right.
so,
Yes. Very good.
So, okay, sir.
do better. Dude.
Electricity is carried through a solution of an electrolyte by the migration of ions between electrodes.
True.
True. Good. In a voltaic cell, a chemical reaction spontaneously occurs to produce electrical energy.
True.
True. Good. Oxidation reactions occur at the cathode.
True.
False. It's false.
False. Alright, so let's... Oxidation is
Is
a
it-
loss of electrons.
Oh
The
yeah.
cathode is
The right side.
It's
negative.
Negative, yeah.
Yes.
Because it's opposite of cations.
Yes.
Right.
Alright. Yeah, so definitely if you are still confused about that, I would write that
Sure.
down.
Yeah.
Not now.
It's positive or negative?
Cathode is
Cathode
negative
is
because the
negative.
cation's positive.
Yeah, that's.
Right hand, right?
Yes, it is confusing.
I don't get why both of them can't be negative.
Me neither.
Alright, so we'll do one more here. If iron is placed into electrical contact with a more active metal, the iron will not corrode.
True.
True. Very good. Alright,
Congrats.
that is it. Make sure you study for your quiz. And I want to hear a good report from Mrs. King after, on Monday.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this Harrison for some help we work on our
Listen to.
project.
Yeah, sure.
What do we have?
Bye, Gio.